Little Miss Lucky is getting married. This is Little Miss Lucky. Little Miss Lucky just got engaged. She's also just seen how much weddings cost. "It's fine," she said. "I'll just do something simple with a few friends and no fuss." "I completely agree," said her mother. "It's your day and I won't interfere. I'll just leave this little book of ideas, instructions and fabric samples here and drop the other 4 volumes around later." Little Miss Lucky's bridesmaids couldn't wait to get involved. "I've got you a colour-coded folder for your wedmin," said Little Miss Wise, her sensible friend from primary school. "I've got you strippers for the hen-do," said Little Miss Naughty, her crazy friend from uni. "And I've ordered devil horns, L-plates, and straws shaped like—" "Wellies," said Little Miss Wise. "We'll need wellies if we're going glamping." "Brilliant," said Little Miss Lucky. "Just as long as we keep it simple." But the big day was already getting bigger. And so was her mum's wedding hat. "Now, for the table decorations, I'm thinking lilac napkins to complement the prawn vol au vents. 500 should be enough, but you know what Mr. Greedy's like around a buffet." "What did we decide on the ice sculptures? Dolphins, parrots, or beavers? Aunt Dotty wants to know if there's a free bar. Cousin Fussy wants to know where he's sitting. And Uncle Clumsy's asked if you can pick him up from the station on the way to the church." Little Miss Lucky reached for the gin. The hen-do preparations were in full swing. "Hey hens, so we're thinking cottage in the Cotswolds, vintage ice cream tea and bonnet making. And lots of booze. So, if everyone would send over their favourite memories of Little Miss Lucky and a £500 deposit by Friday, that would be great. Smiley face, big kiss, little kiss, little kiss, little kiss, little kiss, little kiss. P.S. Don't worry, I'll take care of the food this time." They didn't want a repeat of Little Miss Brainy's hen-do when the hog roast was somewhat undercooked. Meanwhile, Little Miss Lucky was regretting handwriting the invitations and briefly considered stabbing out her own eyes with a calligraphy pen. She went to find her fiancé to see if he wanted to elope, but was confused to find him wearing a foil cape and playing with his lightsaber. "How would you feel about a sci-fi theme?" he said. "I thought maybe you could dress up as a sexy alien, and we could do our vows in Klingon." Little Miss Lucky didn't think it could get any worse until she was bound, gagged, and thrown in the back of a bus. "Surprise! It's hen-do time!" shouted Little Miss Naughty. "On it till we vomit!" whooped Little Miss Whoops. "Great," said the groom's cousin, who they hadn't expected to turn up, but whose name they couldn't remember. And so the hen-do began, with a 5-hour traffic jam, where Little Miss Wise handed out their first task, making self-portraits with dried bits of pasta. Meanwhile, little Miss Naughty cracked open her third bottle of Prosecco and played I Have Never with little Miss Lucky's mum. The next morning, little Miss Wise handed out the day's itinerary with helpful suggestions from little Miss Naughty. 9 a.m. karaoke breakfast, followed by shots. 9:35 glittering paintballing, more shots. 10 a.m. watch chick flicks, pillow fight, plait each other's hair. 11 a.m. life drawing, yes please. 11:30 snake charming. 12 indoor whitewater rafting. 12:30 pick liquid lunch. 13:30 hours spoken word, bring your rap, even more shots. 1400 hours act out bride's most embarrassing moments. 14:30 go to Micropig Cafe. 14:45 take cute Instagram pics with micropigs. 1500 hours sausage making. Everything was running to schedule, but unfortunately there hadn't been time for little Miss Naughty's suggestions. Has everyone finished their naked man drawing? Said little Miss Wise. I'll be marking them soon. Sorry, miss, my micropig ate mine, said little Miss Trouble. The hens were enjoying the activities, but they did think little Miss Wise was being a bit strict. Little Miss Chatterbox didn't appreciate having her phone confiscated during bonnet making, and little Miss Stubborn wasn't best pleased about having to sit out of pole dancing after forgetting her nipple tassels. Is it time to go to the pub? Asked little Miss Curious. Actually, our next activity is decorating knickers, said little Miss Wise. Did someone say pub? Said little Miss Naughty, already distributing phallic straws, pulling on her Let's Get Lucky t-shirt and painting big red L's everywhere. Hooray! Cried the hens, grabbing some loo roll and fashioning little Miss Lucky a makeshift wedding dress. And so the hens were ready to fly the nest, spread their feather boa wings and get totally wasted. Little Miss Lucky was just being shuffled into a taxi when she noticed that someone was missing. She eventually found little Miss Wise huddled in the corner, crying into a pile of knickers. I just wanted everyone to have fun, she sobbed. They are, said little Miss Lucky. And for you to have the perfect hen do. I am, said little Miss Lucky. And for you to have hundreds of pairs of knickers embroidered with our favourite memories of you. Little Miss Lucky didn't know what to say. Eventually she had an idea. They could bring the knickers with them and finish the activities in the pub. Yes, we could do a pub scavenger hunt, said little Miss Wise excitedly. I'll put it on the itinerary. It was a night to remember. Though few of them did, after little Miss Curious made them sample every drink on the menu. Little Miss Chatterbox chattered up all the Mr. Men in sight. Little Miss Whoops lost her shoes and her dignity in a dance battle, and little Miss Tidy was sick in a bin. The groom's cousin was about to start her rap titled "My Name Is," when little Miss Lucky's mum got them chucked out of the pub for grinding at the bar. But up the road a gleaming light beckoned them to a place where every great night should end, the kebab shop. "Screw the wedding diet," said little Miss Lucky, diving headfirst into her cheesy chips. The sleeping hens were rudely awakened by the sound of screaming. Little Miss Wise had just caught sight of herself in the mirror. They crawled slowly out of bed, vowing never to drink again. A rather wobbly little Miss Whoops was in charge of the hangover breakfast, but 50 smashed eggs later they resorted to eating their pasta self-portraits. "I've had the best hen do ever," said little Miss Lucky, face down on the floor. Her phone beeped. Apparently the last anyone had seen of the groom, he was tied to a lamppost in Stag-Do Land. Suddenly they noticed the state of the cottage. The place was covered in glitter, wine stains, and now eggs. Luckily, little Miss Naughty had booked a butler in the buff, who was rather handy with a feather duster, and who arrived just in time to clean the whole house. In fact, little Miss Lucky's mum was so impressed that she asked if she'd give her downstairs a once-over. "What's next on the itinerary?" asked little Miss Lucky. "Let me have a look," said little Miss Wise. "Oh, it looks like you're getting married." "What?" screeched little Miss Lucky. "We've slept for a whole day?" But luckily for little Miss Lucky, she had her hens. "We can make you another loo roll wedding dress," said little Miss Naughty. "You can wear these devil horns as a tiara," said her mum. "I've brought everything you need for the wedding with us," said little Miss Wise. "To the hen-do bus, everyone. We've still got to pick up Uncle Clumsy on the way." Thankfully, little Miss Lucky made it to the spaceship Marquis on time, and so did the groom. Once they'd wired him an emergency passport. And even though the ring-bearing doves pooed on the congregation, Aunt Dotty lost her teeth in the chocolate fountain, and the best man's speech made them cry for all the wrong reasons, everyone still had a great time. Little Miss Lucky looked around at them all. Her mum in her massive hat, the hens still coated in glitter, and her husband dressed as a sexy alien. She felt like the luckiest little miss in the world. The only thing left was to throw the bouquet and see who would be getting married next. "Caught it!" yelled her mum, giving the butler in the buff a cheeky wink.